There is one fear that haunts every human being, across every culture, in every age. It's not the fear of pain, or failure, or loneliness. It's the fear of death, the ultimate unknown. But it's not just our own death we fear. We fear losing every person we love. We fear the moment when they slip away, when their presence vanishes from our world, forever. This fear has the power to transform even our happiest moments into suffering. A child's laughter, a lover's embrace, shadowed by the knowledge that one day this too will end. What terrifies us most is the possibility of complete annihilation. The thought that this awareness, this I that experiences everything, could simply cease to exist. As Martinez observed, the thought of potentially being extinguished stands for most people as something gruesome and terrible. Death is, in reality, a nightmare for all humanity. This terror sits at the heart of our existence, shaping how we live, how we love, and how we search for meaning. In our brief time here, but where does this terror truly come from? None. One. It's not just about saying goodbye to loved ones, or the fear of physical pain. The deepest fear is something far more fundamental. The belief that when we die, we cease to exist entirely. Modern science has given us a story. It tells us that consciousness emerges from neurons, from electrical impulses firing across synapses in the brain. That your thoughts, your memories, your sense of all of it is generated by physical matter. And if consciousness is created by the brain, then the conclusion is inescapable. When the brain dies, you disappear forever. No afterlife, no continuation, just nothing. Eternal oblivion. But what if this materialistic view is incomplete? What if consciousness is not produced by matter, but is something far more fundamental? Something that merely uses the physical brain as an instrument? Martinez teaches that possessing fear of death is an unfinished aspect of human mentality, no different from the capacity to feel hatred, anger, or bitterness toward our neighbor. It's a stage we pass through, not our final truth. Those who refuse to acknowledge the possibility of a spiritual existence beyond the physical often find themselves unable to perceive it. Their disbelief becomes a kind of blindness, a self-fulfilling prophecy. According to Martinez, the greatest superstition that exists is the belief that you can die in the sense of being annihilated, that you could cease to experience, cease to create, cease to be. So if consciousness is not destroyed at death, what is it? And where does it go? To answer that, we must look beyond the physical brain to something eternal and unchanging. In Martinez's cosmology, your consciousness, what you experience as I, is not a byproduct of your brain's neurons firing. It is something far more fundamental. It is an eternal, indestructible reality that exists beyond the physical universe. Your brain is not the creator of consciousness. It is the receiver. Like a radio does not create music, but channels it. Your brain channels the eternal I into physical experience. The signal exists, whether the radio is on or off. This I, your true self, exists outside time and space. It was not born when your body was born. It will not die when your body dies. It simply is. Eternal. Unchanging. The permanent witness to all your experiences, across lifetimes. Your physical body is a temporary instrument. A vehicle that the eternal I uses to experience this material world. Just as you might drive a car for a journey, you inhabit a body for a lifetime. The car is not you, and neither is the body. Martinez wrote, when we speak of an I, whether God's I or the eternal I of other living beings, there can be no difference in kind. The I in living beings is something that has only one absolute analysis, that it exists. Martinus teaches that every living being constitutes an eternal I united with eternal creative power. Just as the universe itself is a living organism, animated by an eternal I, so too are you. You are not separate from this cosmic consciousness. You are an individualized expression of it, because the eternal I was never created. It cannot be destroyed. It is not subject to the laws of physical matter. Death can take your body, but it cannot touch the I. The light that you are continues, unbroken, into new experiences and new worlds. What we call death is not an ending at all. Martinus tells us that death is actually the beginning of new life. It is, in reality, a birth. Just as there is joy when a child enters this world, there will be joy when we leave the physical world and are born into another realm of existence. We live in a continuous existence that unfolds in a spiral cycle. We are born into the physical world, live what we call earthly life, and then we die, which means we transition to a spiritual existence. Then we are born again into the physical world, and this continues onward. This alternating existence forms an eternal spiral of being. With each cycle, you carry forward everything you have learned. Every insight, every experience, every moment of growth becomes part of who you are. Each following cycle is mentally and consciously richer than the one before. You are not starting over. You are building upward, always expanding. This is not reincarnation as punishment, or a wheel of suffering. This is evolution, the conscious journey of an eternal being, learning to create, to love, to become fully awake. You chose this path. Each life is a chapter in your cosmic education. Death is as natural as sleep, a transition between states of being. You do not fear falling asleep, because you know you will wake again. In the same way, the eternal I does not end when the body falls away. It simply moves into the next phase of its infinite journey. We've seen that consciousness doesn't end with death. It transforms, continues, evolves. But knowing this intellectually is one thing. Living without fear is another. Martinus wrote, "It is not life's purpose that humans should continue living in fear. No person can become totally happy as long as they fear something. Fear of death is not permanent. It's a stage in our evolution. We are already outgrowing." He also wrote, "There is no such death. The only death that exists is the state people live in when they believe in death. The real death is the living death of materialist despair, the belief that we are nothing but temporary flesh, destined for oblivion. True happiness is impossible, while we live in fear of annihilation. But when you know, deeply know, that you are eternal, everything changes. Your relationships deepen. You see others as eternal beings too. Your purpose clarifies. You're not racing against a countdown. Your courage expands. What can truly threaten you? This knowledge transforms how you live today, not someday. This is not abstract philosophy. It's practical liberation. Release the fear. Embrace the continuity. You are not a fragile accident, waiting to be erased. You are consciousness itself, eternal, unbreakable, always becoming. Death is not the end of who you are. It never was, and it never will be.